More broadly, a lot of people are asking the question, is AI going to drive change? And yeah, yes, AI will drive change and AI will drive displacement. I mean, it has and it will continue to change how we work with information, how we handle repetitive or derivative tasks, and it will change the business relevance of particular skills, and it will change expectations for responsiveness and for quality and for engagement. But AI is not unique in those ways. And one of the things that you have to work with your teams is helping them understand AI is not scary. It's just a different way of doing things. You've already been through these types of tool set evolutions, and they do drive these types of changes and displacements. Imagine if all the math that you work with today, or that we all work with in the world, was still done on chalkboards or with pen and paper, and it was all done longhand. It worked, but it wasn't very efficient. There were faster ways to do it. So we get things like the slide rule, and there's efficiency improvements, there's new algorithms, there's better techniques, and our capacity to process information and complex problems improves along with the tools. Longhand math was, and it's still relevant. You can go back to it. You can check the work of other processes. You have to understand the working theories, but then you have to be able to peer inside the box. But the cost of entry for complex math started to come down. With further advancement, those algorithms get bottled up into a convenient user interface. And while it's still possible to apply the manual effort, you still have to give it good inputs to be able to interpret and know that you're getting good outputs. It takes significantly less time. There's less cost, there's less effort, and all of that's continuing to drop until you get close to where the cost of doing complex math is approaching zero for most applications. The field is becoming more and more accessible. I can still remember when Excel, Microsoft Excel skills were something worthwhile to put on a resume, and we're probably not anymore today. We all operate really complex mathematical models to varying degrees of effectiveness, but with very little effort or additional specialized training. The value of the skills of complex math, number models, and so forth, it's shifted to being able to frame, interpret, and successfully apply the results of the process in a meaningful way. The inner workings of a trusted process model, all the thousands or millions of calculations, they're now trivial and they're near zero nominal cost, and AI is progressing the same way. And kudos, another example, if you recognize a snip from some of the books from Thomas Jefferson's personal library. This is a photo from the books that are on display at the Library of Congress. That was a way knowledge was organized and it was maintained, but it was slow and it was expensive to maintain and retrieve. So groups stepped in and started to pre-organize the information. And while it may not have the complete depth on any given subject, encyclopedias took thousands of topics and made them accessible and much more economical. You're now able to leverage all the work effort that's gone into compressing that knowledge and making it accessible, and the barrier to entry goes down. Well, you take it a step further. Well, anyone here still recognize Alta Vista? It was one of the first World Wide Web search engines back when it was still called the World Wide Web and not just called the Internet. It started to organize the information that was being published electronically and make it accessible across sites and publishers. It was faster, it could prioritize results, and its value continued to increase exponentially as the depth of data it had available to index continued to grow. The older search engines are rarely thought of today because along came a company that had a better algorithm for relevant information search and retrieval. And the concept that the utility value of information was directly proportional to the number of quality sources that it references and that reference it. That's the Google engine's core. And it's been refinement and performance improvement since then. But imagine how readily you can now access information today on so many topics versus back in the day when you had to build and maintain a personal library just to access a fraction of that knowledge. Now, granted, I still like physical books, but I guarantee you I use Google many more times a day for knowledge retrieval. My point is, you're already using AI. Your teams are already using AI, and it's caused change, and it's caused disruption, and it's caused a reevaluation of skill sets, and that's all okay. It's a tool set.